learn to enjoy the process. Learn to enjoy that journey from the start of something to the completion and or getting to whatever that next thing is.
Why can't you hold long-term relationships?
Right.
I'm curious. I want to know now.
You are being like trained to like be very educated, informed, reading, doing quizzes in the house. You had to continue to like inform yourself.
I don't believe in luck. And if somebody does, I wouldn't bet on it because luck runs out.
There's a certain level of go-getterness that it's either in you or it's not in you.
Yeah.
Hi, thank you for joining yet another episode of Get Set with Lissette. This is where we have inspiring conversations that empower you to get set. And this one is a special one because I don't know if you've taken notice. I don't know if you see it yet, but there's been some slight changes and modifications. That is because I am in a new space and I have the pleasure of sitting down with the owner and founder of Collab Create, Club King Films, and Nite Look. Honestly, he's just an overall entrepreneur. I am sitting down with Ivan Jones. How are you?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
I'm doing well. How does it feel to be actually in front of the camera instead of behind it now?
Not gonna lie, it feels a little weird.
It feels a little weird, huh?
I'm rarely in front of the camera. I'm always behind the camera. But, I gotta get used to it, I guess.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's the idea, right? So today's conversation is really about what you've created, what it is that you're doing, but also just like the hustle and grind of just being an entrepreneur. Because I don't know if you've noticed here, I literally threw out there 3 different businesses, and these are all thriving businesses that you own.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And we're going to talk about also past things that you've got, other ventures that you still frequent, the way you got started. So, sir, you just out here, huh?
Yeah. I'm just doing, honestly, what I love, first and foremost, but then I feel like I'm just on the right path. And some of these businesses that I have were ideas that I created. Some others were just like, oh, we're solving a problem. Let's add on.
And let's add on.
And we're here.
And we're here. So before we get started, I always like to start with an icebreaker. Now, I know that you're not new to this. You're true to this, but we're going to go ahead and do this icebreaker. Mm-hmm. So this is it's just a rapid fire questions to kind of get the jitters out. And it's like, are you this or that, right?
Yeah.
So sweet or salty?
Sweet.
Okay. Morning person or night owl? Don't overthink it now, sir.
Both. I mean.
Okay. Do you sleep?
I would say I'm a night owl, not by choice though. I'd probably rather be a morning person.
Okay.
But I am a night owl.
All right. Okay. Introvert or extrovert?
Man, a little bit of both. I mean, I love being low key.
Okay.
But I think my profession allows me to have to be out. And
so you're more of like an ambivert where you're smack dab 50-50.
I'm 50-50.
Okay, because that's what I am. I always tell people like I am extroverted by trade and like passion.
Yeah.
But it does take energy from me. So in order to recharge, I need alone time. I need to read. So that shows that like that's that introvert part in me.
Yeah.
So you're that ambivert. Because a true extrovert gains energy from constantly being around people. That's how they get energy.
No. I don't know. Yeah. I'm constantly around people because of the profession. I love to be around my family, my loved ones. And I really love to be like, behind the camera.
Right. So ambivert, we're going to give you. Okay. And now this one, there is truly no wrong answer, especially because we're in your beautiful set. Mm-hmm. But are you going to watch the YouTube or listen to the podcast?
Watch the YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah.
There we go. So you've been filming me now for a while. So you know that there's a reason behind everything that I do. And one thing that I try my best to do is qualify the conversation topic, qualify what it is that we've got going on. So right now we're sitting in Collab Create. We're sitting in your studio that you've literally created, and we're going to get into all the things. However, this is a growing industry, period. So smart move, sir.
Yes.
Right? So I just got here and I want to get your opinion on some of these stats that I learned about just like content creation in general, information about podcasts, and let's see your thoughts. So the number of digital content creators in the US is growing at approximately 15% annually over the past 15 years. So every year it's 15% or more. It's growing.
Yeah. I mean, I believe it. I always say, video is the highest piece of content. I think it's video, photos, then scripture, right?
Right.
Language. And because of technology, it allowed a lot of people to dive into these new spaces, one being content creation, from our cell phones having camera capabilities, to smaller real cameras, and then you got your larger cameras. So
Right.
I think a lot of people they have easier access to jump into these lanes now and have the equipment to just even see if it works for them. So
Absolutely.
I think those numbers are growing because a lot of people are trying something new, and seeing other people do it makes them believe, oh, I can do it too.
I can do it too.
And that's what the podcast world is really just kind of became, is people are like, hey, I can do this. Like, it gives like somebody who just was regular, maybe from a low key city, a voice to be able to create. So yeah, I think those numbers and I think we're going to keep seeing bigger numbers. I think we're just really getting started.
We're just getting started.
Yeah.
Well, you hit on two other areas, so you're right on task with that, because video content accounts for literally 82% of all internet traffic, with mobile viewership surging 75 to 85% of those views. So like you said, with phones now, with the capabilities that we have, people are looking at things, viewing things on their phone now more than ever.
Mm-hmm.
So that's it.
And it's also for the people who are putting the content out, that number, that mobile number, is very important, because it also lets people know how they're watching and listening, right? So I don't listen to music in the car. I listen to podcasts.
Same. Yeah.
Now, I don't watch podcasts because I'm driving.
So disclaimer, he put out a nice little disclaimer there.
I don't be watching them. I'll be listening to them.
He be listening. Right.
But information is just out there, and I just love how the industry is right now. And I mean, even how we're just doing this right here.
Right.
I just love it. It's a new day and age. It's very different from how our parents grew up. I mean, podcast wasn't even a thing back then. You had talk radio was the closest, right?
True. Yeah.
And then talk shows.
Right.
But now it's just a whole new playing field, and I love it.
Well, and tell me your thoughts on it, but I feel like it goes back to what you were saying about people that look at things and they view things. Now they have an opportunity to say, I may not be in the right city or the right location, where a lot of people back in the day, they went to these big cities to be found, or to find talent, or to do these different types of ventures because they wanted to be in some sort of entertainment. Now you have an ability to entertain while also just being true to self and doing it from like the comforts of what you know. Like, you don't have to completely uproot your life to try something out. And then if it falls, great. If it doesn't, you know what I mean? Like, if it falls well, should I say, like, if it hits, great. And if it falls to the wayside, then, you didn't lose too much. Whereas before, people packing up and just going to, whether it was LA or New York, those are the two big cities, to like try to get into entertainment. Now you can find your footing in a different way. Yeah.
And with good things, there's always bad things that come with it, right? So because of how easy it is, there's going to be more of it.
Right.
And we as listeners and consumers of the content, I think our job, it's harder now to kind of find the good stuff, right? So it's, before, for example, television and radio. Yeah. They had probably the best host, some of the best guests. It was kind of like the best of the best.
Absolutely, right.
Now, because they're giving access to everyday people now to be able to do things and create podcasts and do radio shows, online radio shows, the quality isn't going to be as consistent as it was before. So I think now, I mean, and that's the challenge is finding the good quality content. And then even how everything's short form content. It's
absolutely,
they make it very hard.
Yeah.
For somebody to say, hey, I have a good channel. I just need people to come and find it.
Whoa.
So I think that's just it's always pros and cons of everything. But overall, I still think it's a very, very, very good thing that's happening with podcasts and video and content creation.
Well, and you lend yourself, you're amazing because you keep lending yourself to exactly that, because you're right. Due to the fact that it's easily accessible, it also then creates like a certain level of saturation that ends up happening when it comes to any new thing, right? And I do think there's going to have to be a certain level of then resets that occur, because, you know, people are going to start, stop, whatever it is. And it's the viewer and or listener that has to sift through and figure out like what, like cut through the crap or whatever, cut through and find like, what is my content of choice? What is it that I'm looking for? But in that same regard, and this is going to be the last stat that I hit you with, and then we're going to get into the meat and potatoes of it all. Podcast listeners have increased. So just like you were saying that you don't even listen to music anymore in your car, you listen to podcasts. Listeners have increased from 103.6 million in 2023 to 109.1 million in 2024, and are projected to reach 114.7 million this year, 2025. So the listeners are out there. That's a whole lot of people. Mm-hmm. Like I can't even like mentally grasp what 114.7 million looks like, right?
Yeah.
So with that, hopefully you find like your content, but there is a lot out there.
There's a lot out there, and those numbers should actually entice people to want to, if anybody's who's watching this or going to watch this and
or
they're
listen
on the fence and listening of like which way do I go? Like I'm stuck on my job. I'm not sure if I'm happy here. I see people doing all these things, creating content, doing podcasts. Oh, look how many listeners are out there.
Right.
And the beauty about the listeners is you can listen to however many different channels, right?
Right.
So it's not like one listener per channel. These are active listeners that are always browsing and waiting for the next channel that they're going to love.
Oh, 100%.
And dive into.
Right.
And watch 20 or 40, 50 of their videos. So I think that, I just think those numbers are really good. Again, I think they're going to continue to increase over time. And it just kind of shows the way we are consuming information today.
100%.
You know, it's just very different. I mean, it used to be ads in the magazines. You wanted to be in the magazine. Now that really doesn't matter.
Right.
Even commercials. I mean, when's the last time you really saw a good commercial on television? You really see these ads in front or in the back of the YouTube videos.
Yeah. Everything
is just very, very, very different. And I think everybody had to adjust to the new norm now, which is this digital era, this video era, this content creation era, this heavy podcast. I mean, podcasts just blew out the water. And before it was just audio.
Right.
For a minute, podcast was just audio. And then video element came to it.
Absolutely.
Right? And it just changed the game. People really weren't listening to podcasts. And when it first came out, it was like people were still on the radio.
Right. Yeah.
And the podcast was a very small bracket of it. People didn't tune in. And then just over some years, video element came to it, and now you're able to see who's talking. Because right now we can't see who's on the radio.
Right. That's very true.
Club,
exactly.
For the most part, you hear, you listen.
Yeah.
And they wanted a good voice for radio. It didn't matter what you look like, because nobody was ever going to see you.
Right.
You need a good radio voice, like you.
Thank you. Oh, hold on now. There it is. Hold on now. But that, in that same regard, guys, I promise you, if you're just listening, I ain't horribly looking, because that was one of the things, though, because people would always say, like, you've got a face for radio back in the day. And the reason being is exactly what you're saying. That came from, like, you may not necessarily look the part, but you can sound it.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So when you got both, I mean, that's just gold. That's why we're here, guys.
Yeah.
That's why he's thriving. And that's why we've got this thing happening here. because we've got both, but you're not wrong. Like the podcast world, and I really think COVID is what started it. Like 2020, when people were locked up and locked in, they ain't have no choice but to like get more creative, look for new ways of content, look for new ways to like express themselves. I think that when people were closed up and closed in for so long, the need for connectivity and like finding a way to have connection with people is what, and this is by no means a stat or anything, it's just my opinion, but I do think that from 2020 on, which is why those stats were staggering from like 2023 and where we are now, is because from that time is when it started. We started to see a surge of podcasts popping up and things of that nature for two reasons. You've got the creative or the person who like could no longer just sit and not do anything. They found a creative outlet. And then you had listeners or people that needed to find a way to be connected to your everyday Joe versus your typical radio. And again, I don't know your thoughts, but that's how I kind of like, I think 2020 created a whole new world of people.
I agree. Look what happens when people can take a break. Right? Going off of your words, off your amazing podcast, a reset.
You. Yeah.
Now, I don't want to, misspeak or, maybe sound like I'm not caring about what the pandemic were to some people because it wasn't happy for everybody.
Right. Fair.
But overall, it was a chance to reset.
True.
And a lot of people took advantage of the opportunity, which was time.
Yes.
Most people in their everyday are hustling and bustling. If you just look at the streets of New York, and if you just was like a fly on the wall, people are up and moving.
Right.
Everybody's walking so fast. Everybody has somewhere to be, somewhere to go to have deadlines. The life is moving so fast. The pandemic gave everybody a chance to just take a break.
Right.
And I think what people did was say, hey, some people just saw opportunities to say, oh, I see this is going down. Let me take advantage of this time.
Absolutely.
Other people, it let them get creative and say, hey, let me try this in this downtime.
Absolutely.
And some people really created a business. Like we know a lady who, what she does for a living, she's a sound engineer.
Okay.
She works on stages and concerts and things
Amazing.
of that nature. The pandemic happened and she said, you know what, I'm going to start making candles. And she has a very, very, very successful candle company now.
That's amazing.
And she's like, I make more money doing this than I was doing.
Than she was doing in engineering.
Yes. And she started, and she was like, I was just pandemic, was nothing else to do. I seen somebody on YouTube make candles. I tried it.
Okay.
And then it just took off from there. So,
kudos to her for that. Because this is random, but I am infamous of watching one of those lovely YouTube videos of like how to do your makeup the best way, how to do a good bun, and mine never come out like the video. So kudos to her for finding something on a video, and not only did she recreate it, but she created a whole business out of it. Because I can't, that ain't my story. But kudos to you, lady.
Yes, yes, absolutely. And there's plenty of people who took advantage of that. I'm not sure when you started your podcast, but I just think the pandemic, outside of people not feeling the best, some people passing away, I think it was a good time for people to reevaluate where they were in life. And say, hey, do I want to stick at this job?
Right. Or do I want to do this?
It was a great time it was like a fork in the road.
100%.
Which way should I go? And I have time for either or.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I will say this, and we're going to plug it quick. I have a few quick plugs now, thanks to him, without even trying. So actually, in that same regard, we're coming up on 1 year.
1 year.
1 year that I've been consistent with Get Set with Lissette. 1 year that I've been doing some sort or fashion of this podcast. The idea and the concept, though, came almost a decade ago, if I'm honest. And it's warped into different modes. But based off of what you're saying, 2020 is when I got my real estate license. I got my license in January of 2020, and then the world shut down because of what you were saying. Like I took a moment, I sat, I didn't want to do what it was that I was doing. I was stagnant, and I don't do well with stagnancy, and I went in a whole different venture. So that is where the plug comes in. If you're in the central Pennsylvania area and you are looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, I am a licensed realtor. That is what currently powers this lovely project of mine. Back to the show. Kidding.
That's awesome. I mean, because what you, I think every day we get up and we have to make decisions,
Right.
right? You wake up whatever time in the morning, up until you go to sleep, you were making decisions all day long. You decided to jump into real estate.
Mm-hmm.
Right after that, boom, the world shut down.
Yeah.
You had a decision to say, hey, do I scrap it? Right? I'm not sure how long you were thinking about being a realtor up until you decided to.
Right.
Or do I ride this thing out, improvise, and keep it? Every day we are accountable for our actions and our
100%.
decision. And I think this great decision making skills is a skill.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I agree. And going through, like you said, riding that wave, because it had been, so the way that I even came into real estate was more so out of necessity, I guess. I don't even want to call it necessity, but I was, like I said, I was stagnant, and I was at a point in my career where I come from the social work background, and then I was in executive management for like nonprofits, and I was burned out. And so it was, do I continue to go down this track, or do I venture off? My last position was a homelessness like I worked with the homelessness. And in that, I had a few people that did not meet one another. That would, if I had a realtor like you, I wouldn't have been in this circumstance. I had people that, because we've got bad stigmas when it comes to homelessness, and that's not what this topic is about. But to wrap it quick, in that, I had people that had been homeowners, people that had lost their houses due to loss of finances or loss of jobs, whatever. Foreclosures led to bad credit. Bad credit led to finding it really difficult to get apartments. Finding it difficult to get apartments led them to being on the streets or couch surfing. And so me just having conversations about ways to just, this is what I did, this is how I would if I were you, and just coming from a place of discovery and trying to understand a person's story and then give solutions, because I'm just like I am a problem solver by nature. I kept getting if I had a realtor like you, then that maybe this wouldn't have happened. If I knew this and this, maybe. And my love and heart for people and just trying to solve their problems led to those responses, which led to, first time someone says that, it's anomaly. By the second, third, fourth, it's like, all right, maybe there's something to this. And that's where I started my venture. But that, in my opinion, is a perfect segue, because you're learning a little bits about me. But the conversation is about you, Jones. So let's talk about, where you come from. Where did you start everything? How did you begin? Like, let's get to know Jones. I always believe that the backstory leaves you clues to where they end up in their life, one way or the other. So who is Jones and how did he get started?
Yeah. How did I get started? I was born in Philadelphia.
Okay. Go Philly.
I was there for probably up until I was like maybe 5 or 6. And then my parents moved us out to a suburban area.
Okay.
Chester County area. And that's where I had all my schooling.
Okay.
And, from a young age, now being able to look back, hindsight, I feel like I always was somebody who could evaluate something, see a problem, and then solve it.
Okay.
Which would then turn into money.
Right.
I've done so many things for money back in the day. I was
Hold on now. I'm kidding.
I mean, like all legit. Like, I mean, from in school, I was a good drawer.
Yeah.
So I said, hey, let me draw on hoodies and customize people's hoodies.
Okay.
I did that. Our parents were one of the first who had a computer. So I'm telling my age now.
No worries.
And
we're right there with each other.
This is when we had a CD burner. CD burner's first hit, Napster, where you could download music. I said, oh, let me make CDs
LimeWire, all of those. Yes.
I was doing that. We had a BJ's membership. I said, oh, this candy and chips is actually cheaper than what's in the vending machines.
Right.
Let me buy some and set up not too far, but where they have to walk past me before they get to the other vending machines. I just always had a way to say, hey, there's a way that something can be done better.
I love that.
And then, that led me into, my family is a highly educated. I come from a highly educated family where college is like a thing.
Okay.
We have a lot of engineers in our family. I took a different route. I went the creative route.
I was going to say, when you were saying about doing painting on hoodies and stuff, I could already feel the artsiness in you.
Yeah.
So, okay, you went creative.
Yeah, I went creative. And because of the time when I was doing all this was in the, I don't know, in the 90s, right?
Okay.
Creative wasn't really a thing. From our household, it's like, that's not a job. You're not going to make money doing this. You're not going to, right? So I wasn't supported in the beginning.
That's a thing.
I wasn't supported in the beginning, but I was passionate. And I always say I believe in myself, and I'll bet on myself any day of the week. So that's kind of how I got started. And, you know, I picked up the DJing early on in college, and then everything else was history. But, you know, I had some college education.
Okay.
Had my associates and...
So you got your associate's degree, and during the college time is when because don't just brush quick over that. I picked up the DJing. Like, let's talk about this, Jones. So you went from making hoodies to then actually mixing and doing DJs. You went from making like burn CDs to actually DJing.
Yeah, I didn't know
that's a big jump. Like, we're not gonna just and then I DJ'd. Like, let's talk about it.
Well, I didn't even know. Okay, so this is how the idea of DJing came about.
Okay.
I'm a guy who likes to know how things are being done. So,
fair.
You know, we were just talking about the radio.
Yeah.
As you know, DJs play on the radio even to this day.
Yeah.
But it was a time where I was listening to the DJs and I'm like, how are they putting two songs together?
Yeah.
And I was listening every week, and I would just listen to figure out how they're doing what they're doing.
I love a good
you
mix.
Can't see them.
Yeah, I love a good mix.
They would broadcast live from the club sometimes, and after me thinking of in my head, this is how they're doing it, I say, you know what? I want to see if I can do it.
Oh,
and literally just to see. It wasn't even like I wanted to be a DJ. I just wanted to see how it was being created.
Okay.
And that's kind of where, I mean, you know, I had other things with music. My parents are heavy music listeners. I think anybody who's was born in the 80s, parents, like, music is a thing.
Music is definitely a thing in my house as well. Yes.
Yeah. So and I wasn't allowed to listen to rap ever. So I listened to my parents' stuff, oldies, jazz, all kind of music.
Back when music was really good.
Back when music was good.
Right. That's how I would get told. Back when music was actually music.
Was really good, and music was music, but I didn't even know that would help me later on.
Okay.
Of knowing that music background and just being in the car listening to so much music, my mom playing records, vinyl in the house. I didn't know at the time that was going to help me later on in life. To me, it was annoying. I'm in the car. It's like, you know, and we couldn't listen to rap. My dad was like, no BET. My dad literally moved us out of Philly to have a clean perspective on life and upbringing. So he kind of cut out all the racket. Yeah. And BET, VH1, all that stuff we weren't allowed to listen to until we got into our later teenage years. Yeah. And our first, I think, rap CD was Coolio.
Go ahead, Coolio.
Yeah,
oh,
it was Coolio. And that's when we listened to rap. So I missed the Biggie era. I missed the Tupac.
Oh, you missed some good music.
I missed the Ice. I missed all, like, how hip hop kind of created.
Right. The journey
I didn't know.
through.
I didn't even know it existed.
Wow.
Didn't even know.
So you really grew up, like, semi-sheltered, did I say? To a certain degree.
That culture.
Because what they wanted was a more worldwide culture, a more upbringing kind of thing. Because they just wanted to make sure that, like, what you were taking in was something of more education, of more value, of more what they believe to be.
Yeah. Like in the summer when school let out, school was still in at our house. My dad would have us read encyclopedias.
You better
He would
go.
Give us quizzes.
Okay.
And if we didn't pass the quizzes, we couldn't go outside.
See, that actually answers a few questions for me that I was already starting to formulate, because I was going to ask, where do you believe this idea of I wanted to learn the how behind it, or the, like, how it operated? Like, where did that come from? But you, from very young, you were being, like, trained to, like, be very educated, informed, reading, doing quizzes in the house. You had to continue to like inform yourself.
Yeah.
So when you were listening to these DJs making music, you couldn't help but, because I was like, I listen to them all the time too, and I appreciate the music. I've never appreciated enough to like learn how they're done.
Yeah.
You went that far because you're that inquisitive.
Yeah, I just think things are interesting. I think people are interesting. I think no matter what we see, it came from something.
Fair.
Right? Like Facebook started with a guy in the garage. You know what I mean?
True
like,
story.
So I always like to know the how. How did it start? Where did it start? How this was built? And maybe I don't know. Maybe that's like an engineering
That's
thing in
exactly
my
what
head.
it is.
But even though I
Yes.
didn't go to school for engineering, but I used to always just be like, how is this? Because I feel like you can obviously better know what's going on, but then you can also predict anything that might happen bad down the road.
Fair. That's fair.
Understand how this guy either became rich or how this guy became homeless.
Right.
I always want to understand how things
the way
are
that things are
created.
going and
Yeah.
how they're, and that's, go ahead with your plug right there, how they're created. Collab Create real quick. So, okay, so then you said that you ventured into DJ and you said that's how you got started. How long was that a thing? Like, did you DJ now, like just for S and giggles? And
when I first was like, hey, I want to DJ, I was in college.
Right.
I was like, I went to school for business management.
Makes total sense.
But I literally just picked it. My dad was like, hey, you're graduating soon. It's either here or the Army. Pick one.
Ooh, okay.
And I said, well, I ain't really Army built, so I'm going to go
Fair.
this way.
We're going to go that way.
And I had to pick a class or pick a major, and it was administrative, the business, or however they say it. And I literally just picked one just to get him off my back.
Really?
And I went to school, didn't even know what I picked. When I got there, I was like, I kind of like this. And
go ahead with the divine intervention of not knowing, but just knowing.
It was crazy. We had a marketing class, and I absolutely love the marketing. I love the psychology about marketing.
Fair.
And then it led me to understand how humans work, how we think. It's just the whole thing. I just think it's very fascinating. But anyway, when I was there, and I was only going to a school that was a 2-year school that you could only get your associates, and the credits didn't transfer.
Oh no!
I'm not going to mention the school because
please don't.
I don't want to knock their hustle.
Right,
But
that
they got
part.
me.
They got you.
They got me.
I can't.
But
sorry.
Once I found out that I actually liked what I was going to school for, and I could only get associates, and how much you make off that, I was like, and then I was like, you know, I'm going to go to another school. Then I found out that the credits didn't transfer.
So you were starting all the.
My parents said that they told me all this in the beginning, but remember, I wasn't listening. I just picked something to go.
So your parents were like, no, we try to prepare you.
Yeah, my dad didn't even want me to go to the school.
Okay.
I just did it to get them off my back. But anyway, I was like, oh, if I go to another school, I have to start over from scratch.
Right.
So I said, I don't want to do that. I need to figure something else out because I just wasted 2 years. Let me figure something else out.
There was no way you were going to do from another 4.
Starting from the So I said, I'm gonna DJ. I want to figure out this DJing thing, and that's when I realized how much it cost.
Okay.
And I was like, damn,
that's a lot.
I was like, this stuff, yeah. So I said, hey, how can I get this equipment? Because my family didn't support the.
Yeah.
It was almost like me telling them I want to be a rapper.
Fair.
Right? They're like, you want to be a DJ? They're like, to them, because they're all from college.
Correct. Yeah, these
backgrounds. So I said, you know what? I got a holiday coming up. My birthday's coming up. I can get a turntable here. I can get a speaker there.
Okay.
And every time it was something going on, I would put that on my list.
Okay.
Because it was I just couldn't afford it. It was expensive to get the good stuff. And I still bought the wrong stuff. But so that's when I got started. And what I did was for a year, at least a year straight, I practiced.
Okay.
I practiced in my mom's basement. And I said, I'm not going to do anything until I get 10 people to thumbs up 10 mixes in a row.
Really?
And it had to be in a row. Not like 2's good, 3rd one's bad. Had to be in a row.
Okay.
And I gave them to different people. And once I got my 10 consistent thumbs up, I said, I'm ready to go outside.
That's dedication. How long was that process?
It's probably about a year.
That whole year, you really did it, and it took the full
Mhm.
year. I was only trying to give you a little, like, I don't know if you got it done sooner, but it took the
No,
whole year.
it was a year because I understand what presentation does.
Amen.
So
Yes. Okay. Go ahead, Jones.
I think like with the content creators now, and I give this advice to a buddy of mine. I say, well, here's a fun fact about content creation.
Here we go.
We put out the best of the best. If
Right.
you go to anybody's page, it should be the best of the best of their life, right?
Absolutely.
They're gonna put their happiest moments, all
Very
that
true.
stuff, right? Nobody sees what's behind the doors.
Absolutely. Just the highlight reels.
That's the highlight reel, that's perception. But then you have people who are putting stuff out there that's not good.
Fair.
And I don't think that people should put out a work in progress. I think people should take time, package it up, and then deliver it to the people.
That's a word.
That's what I think people should do.
That's
we can't unsee something.
Very true.
If I see somebody who is, let's say somebody's a DJ and they're not good at all, and they're putting videos of them in their early stages, that's how I got to know
That's
you.
how you got to know. Right. Yeah.
Or you could just do kind of what I did, out of sight, out of mind, and work on it.
Right.
So when you come out, you're already in the competitive field because you're actually good. Now you just need to be known, and people will find you. So that's
actually
method.
really, really good advice.
Yeah.
I got to keep that in the back for one of my takeaways here, because that's actually really good. It's dedicating yourself. And please correct me if I'm wrong, but what I'm hearing you say is, I realized that I had hit a bump in the road when it came to the schooling and what it was that I was going to do. There was no way I was going to start from scratch and keep going from there. I had already gotten into DJing, as far as at that time while you were in school, you learned the concept of it out of just creative wants of wanting to know and understand it. And then what you decided is I'm dedicating myself to a full year of just dedicating myself to the craft. I want to learn it, understand it, perfect it before bringing it out to anyone. You gave yourself that time, that grace, and that the opportunity to learn and hone in on the craft before you went out seeking validation. Now, you got it from people you trusted, because you said you were looking for.
Yeah.
But that was just a small inkling. Like, you didn't put it out. You waited.
I didn't put it out. I let them, and I was waiting for critiques. I wanted feedback.
Good.
I wanted criticize myself, like grade it, and I gave it to my my mom, and I also understood that older people and younger people have a difference in how they want their music played.
Very true.
My mom would say, "You're cutting the songs off too quick."
Right.
I need to, by the time I get up and I start dancing, you're into the next song. But then I would have somebody who's 25 say, I like it, keep it going.
Right.
And I wanted to be able to be appealing to a variety of audience. So I wanted to learn everything.
That's good. That's really good, because that's another one right there where you're lending yourself to ensure that you are responding to each individual's needs and wants and desires, and finding a way that what you put out is appealing to the masses, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, not just one population or one genre.
Yeah. Presentation is it's very, very, very important, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to spin it on you really quick, right?
Oh, okay.
I saw before I met you.
Yeah.
I saw your podcast.
Aww.
And Paige can tell you, right? I sat there and I was like, I think either Maisha, it was a Maisha episode or a Corey episode. It was somebody that I knew on there,
personally,
which is why I saw it. So then I said, this is shot very well. This is quality. This is my first interaction with you.
Right.
And to me, we all like good stuff, right? We all love to stay in a good Airbnb. We like a good car. We like good stuff.
Yeah.
And I said, this is good. And my first thing was, where was it shot at?
Yeah.
And now I'm interested.
Absolutely.
So I think we all, like, humans are more similar than there are different.
I agree.
Like, we're very common in most parts, but a lot of people are shop this way. And what I did was, I didn't want to just create something and say, hey, I'm going to be a DJ. This is the music I want to play.
Right.
Let me be the shopper.
Yeah.
And get into the shopper's mind. How are they picking their DJs? How are they picking? And I got to learn, again, me getting to learn and how to
Absolutely.
know
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
they work. Because the more
Absolutely.
information I know, the easier it is for me to do what I need to do.
And let's also not shy away at the fact that you doing that is what you got from the psychology of marketing. Like you learned that. Let's
Yeah.
not like I'm picking up all of those little traces of eggs that brought you to where you were. So now you're good. You feel like you can go ahead and expose yourself. So was that how you created income for them? Like when did you so DJing was your first step of creative license to do? Like what was
Well, like we said earlier, I made money doing hoodies. Everything I did, I made money off of.
Okay.
I
So
never
you always
really,
found a way to make sure that income came in.
yes, and
Fair.
but the thing is, I didn't even do it for the money. I just knew I could make money doing it.
Okay.
So why not?
Right.
The DJing, after I knew I was ready to go, I
Yep.
said, hey, I need a business card. Made my own business card, and I went and I looked at in the area that I lived in the bars. There
Okay.
was really no nightclubs. There's a lot of bars, and I was like, I went in there and I sat down, had a drink, just checking the scene. Didn't introduce myself. Just seeing
Okay.
what
Just
they had
sat
going
there.
on,
Uh-huh.
and I picked the one who needed the most help.
Oh.
And I reached out to them, and I said, hey, I'm a new DJ in the area. I said, hey, I would love to play at your establishment. I like your staff. I complimented the place. I said, I think, I could bring a good musical element to your space. And I said, I'll do the first one for free, but if you like it, you can pay me. If not,
No harm, no
shake
foul.
hands, no harm,
Right.
no foul. And the rest is history.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
So I ended up DJing there for quite some time. He actually put me on a party. He had a party coming up. He's like, yo, put you on a party, and I met my barber, who's still my barber today. It was his party.
Okay.
I met him then. We're still friends to this day. And yeah, that's how I got my start. So and he paid me for the night. So I know some people like it takes a while. I made
Right.
money immediately, but I waited. Remember, I was
Right.
in
But
the
I
basement.
was going to say, let's also not shy away. While it seems as though you made money immediately, it's because the 1 year
Yes.
of learning and going back and fixing and changing and doing all the necessary things to get you to a point to be worth paying, right? You did that pruning of time a year alone. So
I mean,
don't shy from that.
Right. Just think about it. People do that already. If you want to be a nurse,
Right.
you have to do what? Go to school
Yep.
and learn it for however long the program is.
Exactly.
And then you're a nurse.
Right.
So to me, I would say, I think what we see today with everybody being content creators is they think immediate is
right
what it is. And I think they may think that because they're seeing people's social media, they may think that they haven't been working on it. Nobody sees the behind the scenes.
Exactly.
But the immediate response and gratification that people are chasing, I think, is also why people are putting out poor product.
Fair.
Right? Instead of saying, hey, let me go home, practice, get my stuff together, and then present myself.
Absolutely.
And I just think that is a undefeated way of doing things. It's always worked for me.
Exactly.
I would encourage other people to do that because again, you can't unsee.
Right. Once something's out, it's out. And that's it.
And then, right, so let's say you go to a restaurant, you had a bad experience. First time there, a bad experience. Food was messed up, service was bad.
Okay.
You're going to be like, you're going to leave, you're going to talk about it.
Fair.
You're going to talk about amongst your friends.
Yeah.
Your friends going to be like, yeah, it gets out, right?
Fair.
It may take a while for you to even consider trying it again. You might.
True.
Human nature, we might give something a second shot.
I was going to say, I'm the wrong person to have the conversation because I'm one of those, it might have been a bad night. It might have been off. But
it might have been off.
I try to
get in the benefit of the doubt.
Right. But you only get one more.
One more. And it's not going to be immediate.
And it's not immediate. That's fair too.
And that's what I mean about people putting stuff out that's not ready yet.
That's true.
The person who's seeing it, especially now, things can be seen quite easily because of the technology. It's going to take them a while to be like, let me see if he or she is even better or whatever. It's going to take them a while. So just eliminate all that. Practice on your craft, your skill, whatever you're doing. Do your research on who's doing it similar. They're doing.
Yes.
And then add something that tops that.
Right.
right, and then present yourself. That's. I mean, I do that even to this till
So
today.
now and what you're
Yeah.
doing. So you started this venture in the DJ world, which is why it feels like fairly quickly you were a paid DJ. How long were you with just that one bar then for a while, or what? Like was
So I also understood that relationships are very important.
you better
So
go? This is just yes,
yeah.
100%. Talk about it.
So I mean, relationships are really important, and I even the guy, his name is Johnny.
Mm-hmm.
I talked another day. You
Oh,
know,
hey Johnny.
so yeah, I've DJed for him for I don't know how long it was, but it was for a while,
Okay,
and then I started going to other places, and I had my first residency in Delaware at a club, and
go
I
ahead.
quickly to the people
Yeah.
kind of blew up. Me, I've been working on this forever. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
But I was just prepared for it. So yeah, I mean, I was at the first bar for a while. I had my first residency in Delaware. I was doing Philly stuff. I was like all
Okay.
over the place, which is why the name is Club King.
Club King.
Because
I apologize. I'm calling him
yeah,
Jones here. That's how
well,
I know him. But
yeah,
go ahead, Club
uh,
King.
Club King was it? Well, my DJ name was Jones because before I
Oh,
went to the bar, I was like I couldn't come up with a DJ name, and
okay.
I'm like I'm not gonna sit here and spend weeks.
Right.
I need to get out there. I
Yeah.
need to get out here because I also don't know if there's somebody else like me in their
Who's
mom's
ready to do it?
basement
Exactly.
who's I don't you know I can't always think oh it's just me out here.
Right.
I always think there could be somebody that's on your
Absolutely.
ass.
Absolutely.
So I said I can't be waiting on long. I said I'm gonna leave my last name Jones.
Right.
Very regular, very nothing
Very
crazy
easy.
about
Can't
it.
forget it. Yeah.
DJ Jones, and then the Club King came just because I was, you
The
know,
king of clubs.
someone would say that.
Something like that.
Yeah,
We're
someone would
not.
say that.
There's more of a story, guys, but we're not gonna. That is not today's topic.
Yeah.
So we're gonna let it go.
Yeah.
And moving on. So you did DJing for how long before you then started your first? Because one of your ventures is Club King Films.
Club King Films.
So did that come after the DJ? Like, what
Yeah.
is how did it just makes sense to me, but
So
because that's another business.
that's another business, and it has a Club King because to me, after a while, not just me being in the clubs was the Club King thing. It was a brand. It was how we conducted business.
Ah, okay.
So I kept that with the film. But yeah, so I picked up my first camera while I was DJing, and I would do these parties, and I was like, man, the night was crazy, and there's nothing captured.
You couldn't
There's
tell,
nothing
right?
to document what happened. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna go get me a camera. I remember walked into Best Buy, walked into the guy, into the camera department. I told the guy, I said, hey, look, I need the best camera here,
Okay.
and I don't know nothing about cameras. It needs to shoot very well on auto.
Okay.
That's where we're at. He pointed me to a Canon at the time, bought the lens, perfect. I took a couple of shots in the store, took it home, took some shots of myself, some, my family and all that. And I was like, these look really good.
Okay.
And I knew that it wasn't me because I never took photos before.
Right. So you're like, this is really good quality.
Really good
Yeah.
quality.
Okay.
So that was when I first had the camera. Then obviously I was using the camera for our events and things of that nature. And then one day the camera broke. And this is where I departed from the camera. It broke. It was on a table. I was DJing, and the bass was slowly moving the camera off the table, and me not knowing. And then it fell
Because
and
you're
shattered.
DJing. Okay.
And I said, man, that was an expensive camera. I'm not buying another one. It is what it is.
Okay.
Years went by, and honestly, it was like around the pandemic is when I kind of got more serious in it. But I was like, before that, I was like, you know what? The digital era where it's at, I said, a camera is very important.
Okay.
I realized that. I
Yeah.
say a camera is the reason why we even know how things happen from way back in the day.
Right.
It
Yeah.
was
Those
photographed.
photos are, yeah.
It's very, 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 everything we see 9 times out of 10 is captured by something, by a camera.
Right. Yes.
Right?
True. Yeah.
Back in the day, you didn't know about the beach unless you were there.
True.
How would you know? Unless you saw a commercial, 9 times out of 10 back in the day, you had to be there to experience it.
Right.
You didn't know how people were actually living in Spain and all these other places.
Right. Right.
Now, because of technology, the camera is absolutely Very, very, very important.
I mean, that it goes back to that stat with video content still being the number one. And if you think about it, that goes back to hieroglyphics when they were actually trying to capture via just like images on the walls, photos when it comes to like actual art, when people would actually draw them still, to the first camera, to then, like you said, the camera has been the way to capture a moment for like forever.
Yep. And I figured that out early on. I said, this is where we go next.
So, and that's how you went. So you dropped the first one, you didn't do it, but then you realized the necessity and the gap of, and that's how you picked it up and you kept going.
Technology advanced.
Yeah.
From when I first started DJing, right?
That's true.
When I first started, it was just like maybe MySpace, but like technology advanced. It's all these platforms now. And I'm like, And I picked up the camera really to I wanted to make short films, which is why it's Club King Films.
Yeah.
But even when I got the camera, I said, man, again, I did my research.
Okay.
And I said, most photographers only do one type of photography. And I couldn't understand why that was.
Fair.
I mean, it's not like this camera is specifically for this kind of photography. You can take photos of everything.
True.
So I said, I'm going to learn more than just one style of photography. And then also the cameras have a video button on there.
Right.
And I'm like, why would I not learn video either? Just
right.
But there's a lot of people who only do one thing. To me, I just don't understand it. I get it, but I don't understand it because to be like the biggest pile has a bunch of stuff in it.
Okay.
So if I know how to do this, and that with the camera, I'm getting calls from all over the place.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So same thing. I did the same method as me doing the DJing in my mom's basement. I rebought my cameras and I studied and I practiced.
Okay.
And once I got good, same thing. I showed my mom, I showed people, and I was like, I think I'm good now.
You waited till you had enough to say that you felt good.
Yep. I waited till I had enough gear, equipment, and all that, and then I said, what are we gonna call this thing? And I said, I couldn't come up with a name, but I was like, you know what? Let me keep off the brand that I have. I mean, Club King was a thing, and I threw films, and photography on the back end.
So now you've got your DJ business, right? Because that's its own thing at this point. Now we understand Club King and how Club King Films got started, right? There's still 2 other business ventures in here, right? So help me understand before I go through every single one. So am I understanding correctly? It's exactly what you said at the beginning where you just like to solve problems. Mm-hmm. So basically your entire venture into the entrepreneur that you are has been, I'm not doing that because that's going to take too long. So now let me go ahead and perfect X craft with DJing. Now DJing is no longer just a hobby, but it's an actual business because you've ensured that you did the research, you even went to certain places before finding or talking to the person you wanted to. You selected the place that you wanted to go to. You went ahead and you got that relationship going. You understood the importance of relationships and lent to those relationships, which led you to DJing now becoming, okay, they saw you at X party, and now that's taking you to other clubs, other places of residency in Delaware. In the midst of all of that, you recognize a problem, which is these moments are not being captured in a way that I can put out there or so that people can know that this is continuing. So you answered yet another problem, right? You solved, should I say, another problem by picking up a camera now. And now you've got an entirely new venture of business, but you took it a step further and said, but now that I have this equipment, it's not just for X. I'm now looking into ways in which to capitalize this equipment that I have, and you've got a completely new business model.
Yeah, you summed that up really good. But 2 things I'm gonna add in there.
Please, I'm like, because that's
One is I've always knew that if I recognize a problem, other people recognize it also.
Absolutely.
So I look at it's like cockroaches. You see one, very good chance there's another one.
Absolutely.
So when I said, hey, my events are being documented, I'm pretty sure there's other people who feel in the same way about events that they're having.
Absolutely. Okay.
So that, and then the other one is I always looked at it as if you built a good brand.
Right.
Like if Apple right now said, hey, and they've done this, hey, we're gonna come out with some sneakers.
Mm.
We would assume because of how well Apple does as a company,
Right.
the sneakers are going to be fairly good. They might
Right.
not look the best, but they might have
Some kind
the
of
soles on
functionality of right.
something,
Something's going to be great
because we're like,
quality
oh, it's
wise.
coming from this brand. So when I was thinking of how I'm going to call my photography business, I said, let me keep it with the brand because my brand is known to be good.
And so you knew that trust was already there.
Yes.
Okay. And that's another fair. I like that add-on. That's really important.
Yeah.
So now let's see, where and when did you then embark on this idea of Collab Create?
Well, Nite Look actually came before Collab
So
Create.
let's talk on it.
Yeah.
Okay. So now we
Yeah.
got two out of the four, guys.
Yeah.
2 out of the 4. So let the Nite Look first.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So Cloaking Films, we were doing our thing.
Yes.
We grew very, very fast. And I
That
think
seems
it
to
was
be
our
your trend.
Yeah, but I think it's because of I do the homework first.
Exactly. I was
prep.
going to say,
You
yeah,
know what I mean?
100%. Yeah. Before you put something
Yeah.
out, you've already done the legwork.
I like train for the fight. So when I
Okay.
get in there, I'm good. But yeah, Cloaking Films, weddings, all the stuff that we're doing, documentaries, we're doing a whole bunch of stuff. Nightclubs will call us up and say, hey, man, we need our stuff captured. And I'm like, just like how I said, if I feel like it's a problem, I know other people feel like they have the same problem.
Right.
And that's exactly what it was. So many people are doing things and it's not captured.
Right.
And with the technology, everybody's posting what had just happened.
Fair.
And I'm like, you don't have any quality? So that's how we got into that. The nightclubs will call us and say, hey, we need our club captured.
Right.
So now the nightclub is calling us with the same, wanting us to solve the problem that I had way back when I bought the first camera that broke.
Absolutely.
So I said, okay. So we would go out and we would capture the nightclub, and then we would just get the nightclub owners the contents, and we would move on to the next project.
Okay.
The club would call us back because again, relationships are important.
Absolutely.
So a call back and another call back, is very good. And when we would come back, the people who were capturing in the club, they're like, "Hey, I saw you take my photo. I saw you. Where is it? We can't see it."
Okay.
And I'm like, the owners have it. And after hearing them, they would like track us down like we owed them money.
Like,
hey,
I saw you take a picture
photo.
of me. Right.
Where is it at? And so me and my fiance, future wife,
in November, guys, another plug.
We were like,
Love it.
I told her, I said, we gotta find a place for this stuff to live because I don't want them to think that we were doing something weird.
Fair. I get what you're saying
because that kind of got awkward now. It's like
right, and that's your brand
cameras.
again at this point,
Right.
and you're protecting your name. I love it. Absolutely.
So again, I found another problem to solve.
Absolutely.
I said, we need a place for this thing to live, and me, I'm full blown. Everything I think of is business.
Right.
All the biggest and best businesses came from an idea.
Absolutely.
So when I think of an idea, I build a business around it.
Yeah.
So we came up with we would brainstorm a name. I said, let's not just create any regular Instagram. Let's call it something. We had Night Vision and Night Owls, all kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then I said Nite Look, but nobody in the group liked Nite Look. They wanted Night Vision.
Okay.
And I said, because I also do graphic design and brand's another business. But anyway.
Here we go, guys. Y'all saw how he threw that in there real quick, right? Y'all saw that or heard it, should I say, for those that are just listening in.
So
we just threw that.
Graphic design, web development. But anyway.
We ain't got time for that one today, guys. We'll bring them back.
Yeah, we ain't got time for that one. But I knew, again, people can unsee something.
Absolutely.
So I knew in this group chat, I'm the only one that can do graphics. I said, I don't think, they're not feeling Nite Look, but I see it in my head. I said, I'm going to quickly create a mock-up logo and just throw it in the chat.
Jones said, they're not seeing my vision. Let me just bring it to life. Okay.
And
Love it.
I quickly designed the logo, threw it in the chat, and I knew what it was going to do in the chat because everybody's just texting names of like ideas. Now they got a visual, and I didn't do a visual for any of the other ones.
Exactly.
I just did Nite Look, bam, threw it in there. And they was like, we kind of like that. And I was like, sold. We're doing Nite Look. And then
I love it.
And then we launched, it was a New Year's Eve or whatever year. I think Nite Look is going on 3 years now.
Wow. Because that was going to be another one of my questions because you're throwing out years. God, this is like a good 10-year journey that you give or take.
It's longer than that. I've been DJing for over 15 years.
15. May I correct myself? DJing for 15.
Yeah.
So, yes.
Yeah. And then the Nite Look, we were like, hey, Now we have a place, and really we were just solving a problem.
Absolutely.
We got a place for our content to live. We shot a quick little promo video introducing our page, put that out there, and then we launched New Year's Eve, and we had these little business cards because we were like, hey, let's make the experience between us being the photographers and the party goers as comfortable as possible.
Okay.
After we take their photo, let's give them something that has a QR code where they can go and get it so they can feel comfortable.
Absolutely.
I'm all about people feel comfortable and everything. And
you got an A in that marketing class. I know you did. And if you didn't, you should have. Keep it going though.
Yeah. So that's what we came up. We came up with a card, and then I also wanted to. I was testing to see how people were going to respond. Are they going to scan it? Because when they scan it, it takes them to our website, which is nitelook.com.
Plug. Go for it. Love it.
And then they have to sign up and subscribe in order to view the photos.
Absolutely.
So, me and my fiance, I was like, let's see if they're going to use it.
Yeah.
We're ready. We're prepared. Let's see if they're going to use it. The next morning, just bing, bing, the website's just going crazy. And I'm like, yo, they're using it. They're doing it. Because, sometimes
I'm
a lot older now,
right.
and kids are doing things different now. So they're not kids, but they're, in early 20s.
I get it. Yeah.
And I'm like, and their attention span is so small. So I'm like, are they going to even keep the QR code? They're going to throw it away? Like,
you don't know. Right.
And we were like, I think we got our first 100 subscribers like the next morning.
You better go.
And I was like, oh, we're on to something.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I'm all, every business you want to scale it. And then, we grew it into something that's very crazy now. We're very, very, very big now. Our Instagram gets about 300,000 hits a month.
Wow.
Our subscribers are in the high numbers. We're working on developing an app for Nite Look. We have a lot of contracts with club owners, and for what Nite Look does, because people are like, I didn't explain it. What Nite Look does is we connect people with night spots and the entertainment with the people, all in one circle.
It's a one circle shop. Yes.
And we what we do for the club owners is we eliminate them having to have somebody do their social media.
Right.
We do it. They get fresh content monthly, right? And then the party goers know, oh, this is a hot spot. If I've never been to this place and I see how it goes down over there, I see how
I can go. Right.
I can go over there. And Nite Look being a brand, we turn down people because we only want to talk about the spots that are good, friendly, no drama, right? The music's good, the ambiance is good. Those are our spots. So we connect everybody together, and then Nite Look just is crazy now. So
that's amazing. Okay, so now let's recap, because now he's got several businesses prior to this studio that we are at today.
Yeah.
So the DJing is its own business and its own entity. 15 years in, that's how you got kind of started.
Yep.
That led itself to Club King Films and getting those things going and having the photos, the films, everything you've got going on. You've got everything within that. That then brings itself to, while I'm taking these films and I'm also involved in these circles because of the fact that I'm DJing, now I believe in relationships, so I've maintained all of these relationships. Now I have this bridge between the consumer experience and the club owners, and that is where Nite Look comes into play. You've created that. So now you've got these 3 different pockets of entertainment, media type, ventures. Where in the world do you find the time, capacity, or space to then bring on Collab Create? How does that get born?
Well, I also knew very early on that you can only do so much by yourself.
Fair.
And a team is very important. Like and the leader of the team is even more important. So I grew. Like, we have our Nite Look team is it fluctuates, but 10 people give or take, depending on the month and who's on vacation. And stuff like that.
Fair.
And same thing with the Club King Films. I added on more photographers. I said, hey, if I'm somewhere, if it's only me,
right,
you're not strong at all. Let's say,
fair.
I get pulled over and I'm late to the gig, or let's say I get sick.
Right.
My model is, if if it's just you, it's not a business.
You better. Can you say that again for the people in the back?
If it's just you, it's not a business. It's a hustle.
Amen.
Hobby, whatever you want to call it. I want to scale. Multiplication is how the best businesses are out there. So we need more photographers. We need all kind of stuff. So which led us to answer your question, how do I have time? I created time by having people to help
you
divide
leveraged it. Yes. Yeah. I love this.
Yeah. So, and then Collab Create. Now, Collab Create was home. Before I say this, also I knew for the Nite Look and everything, it was going to be very easy for me to get in there because I was DJing all the clubs.
Absolutely.
It was almost like a layup.
It only
like
makes,
there.
Exactly.
It makes sense.
Right.
With Collab Create, I honestly wasn't even thinking of this place. We came here literally because it rained.
I'm done.
I'm serious. I'm going to tell you so. We were at our beach house. Me and my fiance having a good time with our family at our beach house in Ocean City, Maryland. You guys ever need a place to stay?
I'm guessing there's also like an Airbnb of some sort or something. Of course there's a business, guys.
So
makes sense.
If you ever need a place, hit us up. But anyway, we were down there
I love it.
At our beach house, and back home, my landlord was like, hey, I guess it rained really bad here.
Okay.
And she was like, hey, some of our other tenants in other buildings have experienced flooding. We want to come in and check.
Okay.
I said, yeah, go ahead and check. Came in and they checked, and then they were like, your place isn't that bad, but we're going to put some dehumidifiers down there. I said, hey, I'm not even home. I'm out of town. I'll be back on a Monday or something like that. She's like, all right, we'll come back when you come back to just check it again.
Okay.
When they came back, the lady was like, man, you got a lot of equipment in here. She's like, you need space? And I was like, no. I had an office in Lancaster.
Okay.
Because we were launching even more Nite Look in Lancaster. So I was like, let me get an office for there. I said, nope. I got so much going on. Don't need space.
Right.
She's like, you sure? I was like, I'm sure. She's like, I think you'll like it. And I was like, no. And she said something else. And I was like, I think somebody's knocking at my door.
Okay.
Not like literally knocking at my door, but
no, I know. Like
somebody's saying something to you over and over again. You might want to at least look into it.
Absolutely. You listen to the sign. Yep.
I said, hey, it doesn't hurt to look. And we set up a time to go see it. And I came over and I was like, and the space we're in now, like nothing was in here. It looked totally different.
Right.
And immediately I was like, this space is way bigger. Yeah. Because she never told me how big it was.
Absolutely. Okay.
She just said, you're going to love it. It's way bigger than what I had in Lancaster. And my brain starts rolling again.
As it does, as we're learning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I didn't even have the overall idea for it. But what I did know is that this wasn't going to be available for long.
Okay. So, and please, because I'm learning something about you as we're having the conversation, because you seem to be a man of discernment. Like you have the ability to discern when something seems like this is a venture that I need to pay attention to. Let me listen to the signs. And like she's repeating it. So like you said, something's being knocked. I need to listen to that. Because, and please correct me if I'm wrong, the way that it sounds, this is the first time that you put the cart before the horse. Because on this one, the location came before the actual concept.
Yes.
But you had enough discernment to recognize, I got to jump. Is that fair to say? Because on every other business venture, you waited until there was a true problem that you had to respond to the...
Right. I mean, yeah, you put it very, I mean, well said. But also, where I'm at in my career at this point now, I've proven to myself I can do it.
That you can.
There's
so that part too.
I'm very, very, very confident because I've had so many good results over my 10, 15, however many years.
Go ahead and talk your ish. I get it. Yes. So, you're like, the track record speaks for itself.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, which goes back to what I said earlier. I'll bet on myself any day of the week.
Right.
So I knew it wasn't going to be around long.
Fair.
And I told the lady, I said, all right, give me a day or two. And I remember coming back to the house and my fiance's on the couch and I'm like walking around. I got papers. I'm coming up with the plan now. I'm like, we can do this. We can do that. And she's like, you sure? Sure. We got it. We can do this. And I'm like, I'm going to set it up to where even if it fails, it doesn't hit us nearly as hard.
Right.
So I always say you get what you negotiate. I negotiated.
We gonna have to like put up some of this man's quotes. Just saying, you get what you negotiate. Go ahead.
You negotiate, and I negotiated a good deal, and we moved in, and then we literally went room by room. But I still do the same method of nobody even knew about this place
Right.
until it was ready, and
Right.
we've had it for months.
Okay.
Even now we still don't. I mean, we've had it for months, and we will bring our clients here, obviously, to
Right.
conduct business. They're like, "Hey, we ain't gonna do a grand. We ain't gonna do this." I'm like, "It's not ready yet.
Right.
Give us time." And I'm very patient, and I trust the process, but
Absolutely.
I enjoy the process.
That's a
enjoy the
word.
process.
Because sometimes the process is the part that I think, and you said this earlier on when you were talking about like the way that people move now and the fact that like that first image that you put up is it, and like the problem when it comes to content creation and the fact that people sometimes like they go too fast or they do before they're ready.
Mm-hmm.
There is a skill, I think, and also a mindset that you have to enjoy the process. Because the reality is that the process in any journey is going to be the most grueling part, because it's the part where you're making the mistakes. It's the part where you're learning and relearning. It's the part where you're creating whatever, like it's being birthed.
Mm-hmm.
And in that process, sometimes it can be painful, regardless of what the process looks like. But most people want their excitement is at the beginning, and then they're excited for the end result. But the process in between is where the true change happens.
Mm-hmm.
But not a lot of people, I think, actually enjoy that, because it can be brutal. It can be also like eye-opening. There's some hard, real truths at times that one needs to recognize in order to be successful in any venture. But in order to get through that, you have to be willing to face those hard truths. You have to be willing to take those next steps.
Yeah.
Sometimes step 1 to step 2 isn't just your typical step. It's like, those rock climbing walls. That first step might be simple, but to get to this one, to the next one, you really have to be strategic. So
like, why are people afraid of hard work? Like, I don't understand.
But Jones, we come from a different age, sir. We come from a different age. I'm just saying. But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You enjoying the process also is the reason why you're getting the results that you're getting. It's just the kudos that I'm giving. Don't try and go to the why or the how, people. That's why he's got into all these other career ventures. But that is a skill.
Yeah.
And it's important.
Yeah. I actually enjoy the beginning, because I always say, tie your shoe, roll your sleeves up. Let's go.
Okay.
Be in there. You spend a lot of time in the beginning, many hours. And my fiance can tell you, we've been in here, she's been up, and she's been absolute blessing, and she's elevated our brand. Us coming together.
Come through with the compliments to the fiance.
Yeah.
I love it.
I mean, it's very true. And I was like, oh, she can keep up. Like, I have a good work ethic. I kind of keep rolling until like my body's like, all right, we gotta shut down.
Fair.
And she can run right with me she has been running with me the entire time.
I love that.
And has elevated our brand tremendously. And we show people that you can be in a relationship, a good one, a healthy and supportive one, and while doing your business and working together. And I mean, we work together every single day. That
in and of itself is a topic. That's beautiful, because a lot of people struggle with that.
Yeah. You have to understand people, and I think you have to understand how teams work.
Okay.
And
expand.
Yes, you have to understand. Even here, I manage people very differently, just based off of who they are and what their communication style is.
Right.
But in order to build something great, you need a team, and you need a good foundation.
Okay.
Just like any house, you need good concrete 2x4s. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I apply that to my whole business strategy, to my relationship. Good principles, everything, and I feel like if you do it the right way, it then will give you a return.
Absolutely.
If you putting deposits in, you can't withdraw nothing from a bank account. You ain't putting no deposits in.
Talk on it.
So you always make deposits. So when you're ready to make a withdrawal, the funds are there, the respect is there, the loyalty is there, The commitment is there.
Yes.
The friendships there. Everything's there. So, and it's worked very, very, very well for me.
Absolutely.
And I wouldn't have it any other way. I wouldn't have it any other way. And I think that's kind of completes where I'm at now. I'm always going to want to. My brain is always going to think of a
absolutely. Now, in that though, can you talk more about the Collab Create workspace? What is the vision, the mission? Like, let's talk on. Now we're here. We got the space. You've got the support. You already had the employees because of the fact that you already have the support from your other businesses.
Yeah.
That's how you end up here.
Yeah.
Talk about what is the like Collab Create? What does that mean to you? What is the business model? Like how are we trying to make this a thing?
So Collab Create, after we came into the space, we said, hey, we got to call it something. We didn't know the name right away. We were thinking about maybe Club King Films headquarters, Nite Look headquarters, whatever. And then I said, we got all these rooms, all this space. Mm-hmm. Let's create a place, an ultimate place where people can come and create. Right? And even then, I didn't have the whole name yet.
Although you put it together without realizing it.
Podcasts.
Right.
People can come in. They need office space. Let's because I remembered how I got started.
Right.
And I didn't have those resources. I didn't have an office. I didn't have resources to this. I didn't have a place to come to bring people to have a meeting. I didn't have all these things.
Right.
So I know how hard it is to get started. And I think a lot of people today, that discourage them from getting started. They're like, oh man, as soon as you chat GPT, how do I start this? And it gives you 30 things you need.
It down.
You're like, let me go back to work. You know what I mean? So I'm like, let me be a staple or a step in somebody's business process, whether they're just getting started or if they've been in business for a while and they need a new space, looking for a new space.
Right.
So I said, let's create that. And then I'm like, what we're going to be doing is collaborate with everybody. And I'm like, I always think, call the business exactly what it is that you're doing.
I'm telling you, that was definitely an A in marketing. Yeah. That's genius marketing. That's exactly it. That's right.
Sometimes people try to get too clever and too fancy. And I'm like, just call it what it is.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we're going to be creating and collabing. And we didn't want to do create collab. He's like, collab create. And then I'm like, oh, let me do double C's, kind of like the Chanel. Or Is it Chanel or is it Gucci? One of them. One of them designers.
It's Chanel.
Chanel. Yeah.
Our lovely sound engineer, a.k.a. his beautiful fiance, who, as he said, is here supporting us, just gave us the answer. It's Chanel.
Yes. And that's what we did. We created a place for people to do podcasts, what we're doing now.
Absolutely.
A broadcast studio. We have photography here, office space. We have a kind of like a lounge, editing stations, workstations, just a place where people can come and they feel comfortable when they're here. So how the way we put the furniture in here, we wanted it to be different from room to room.
Yeah.
But also familiar, where you might feel like you're at home, but you don't want to work at home because you don't get too much work done at home.
Fair.
But it has the comfort of being at home. We have TVs in almost every room, so we usually have music on to just give you a little bit of stimulation, lo-fi music is being played to help edit, to help think and create.
Right.
And then we have memberships where people can come down here and spend a few hours or even longer than that here. Just like a whole house.
Absolutely.
That is for people to use, because the part that I'm at now in my life is the teaching point. I think life is about you live, learn, and you teach. I'm in my teaching phase.
Amen.
And my teaching phase can be me not literally teaching somebody, but being at service for people, helping people get where they need to go. And I really love being a part of people's process in any way that I can be. How can we help? What do you guys? What's the goal? What are you trying to do? I can help you there, because a lot of people have a lot of ideas, but they don't have resources, or sometimes that extra level, layer of knowledge to get to that point.
100%.
So I want to help people in that way.
That's amazing.
And that's how we have the space. I mean, we're here all the time, and literally all the time. And time goes like this because we're creating. We're in here. If you think about it, I could not have thought of this 20 years ago.
Right.
At all.
Right.
I feel like I'm on my path.
Absolutely.
Because
and that's
the things
what makes
that are
a difference.
coming just make perfect sense. It's like, oh, this puzzle piece goes right here. It's right here in my face. I can see it goes right here. And I'm just enjoying the journey, uh,
I love that.
and just being helpful to people, and sharing the knowledge that I have, the information that I have,
Absolutely.
and employing people who, I mean, there are some new photographers that work here that never could have been like, oh, like, unless you're out here getting stuff booked,
Right.
where can I go? And I'm giving people a place to come in, utilize the studio, go out and work in the field,
Right.
get on weddings, get their portfolio built up.
You're giving
work
them
with people.
opportunity.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, and I was told at a young age, a man is only as good as the resources he can provide. So, we're very resourceful. So, I just always, had that in me. Like, I need to be a provider in several ways.
Okay.
Not just financially, but in my relationship, emotionally. I want people to be able to count on me. Like, I know right now, I can go home if shit hit the fan, something crazy. I can go home to my parents' house, who still live in the same house
Absolutely
that I grew up in.
Yeah.
And I can go there for 3 months if I need to rebuild and get back out there.
100%. Yeah.
Because they are that reliable.
Right.
And I've always wanted to, I'm like, I can rely on my parents.
Yeah.
They are very, very, very important.
Yeah.
And I'm like, who am I if can't nobody rely on me? I'm like, that's not a popping person to me.
Right. You want to be the person.
I want to be the person that people can rely on.
Yes.
And I enjoy responsibility. So
I feel like that's an oxymoron, but I love that for you. I enjoy responsibility.
Yeah.
Like, you take pride in the responsibility of fill in the blank.
Yeah, because like, if you think about it, we're all responsible for something.
Fair. If nothing else, at least yourself.
At least yourself, right? But just think of, I mean, mothers are this in general, right?
Right.
They give birth, they're immediately responsible for
a whole nother human being.
This child.
Right.
And then when you see the child to be 18, the mother has birthed all this stuff, 18 years to get the child to be where they're at.
Right.
So just that alone, or if you're a dog owner, if you're a pet owner, the dog can't go to Costco's and get a shopping cart, throw some dog food in there, right?
Yeah.
So we're all responsible for stuff. And I think the more stuff you're responsible for, I think that's the capacity that you have, right?
Hold on now. Go ahead. You hitting something here. Okay.
There's a set of skills you need. Time management. It's a whole bunch to be responsible for a lot.
Right.
And when you are the owner of a company, you have a staff.
Yeah.
And then you have your fiance who's in here. You have so many things moving.
Right.
And being responsible for all. To me, I just feel like I feel really fulfilled at the end of the day. Being like, hey, we did all this.
Right.
And they can count on us. And we have some people who are like, hey, can I get an extra shift here? I'll make it happen.
Okay.
I'll make it work.
Right.
Hey, can I, and they're coming to me in the way that I could come to my parents growing up.
And that is giving you the fulfillment that you need, and in your teaching phase now.
Yeah, because what would be the opposite? Nobody can come and count on me? Like, what's the opposite of that? I don't want that.
That's
always a
that's
opposite.
A word. That's a word.
Always. There's like, for you, the real estate could be.
Yeah.
And real estate is to me, it's an entrepreneur mindset too, right?
Yeah.
It's like, hey, you have to go out there and still sell.
Absolutely.
Some houses sell themselves, but you still need the realtor to come in and do all the stuff, right?
Right.
You can either be one that somebody can depend on, but you're going to be at the house before the client gets there, or whatever the case. Or what's the opposite of that? One, don't nobody want to call. Hey, let me call Century 21, wherever. Yo, send me somebody else. I don't want this person.
Yeah.
There's always an opposite to that. And always say, who do you want to be?
Right.
Who do you want to be? And
that's it right there.
Who do you want to be?
I'm going to ask you a question that I wasn't. It's just coming to me now in the midst of our conversation, but I think that it's important because I also think that it's a hot topic, and you've led it with what you're saying right now. But not originally, I was going to ask like the direction of Collab Create and where do you see things going, and I'm definitely still going to like do that. But more importantly, what do you want your legacy to be?
I don't think it's going to sound crazy. I don't think about that.
You're lying. You can't be the same person who likes responsibility
Yeah.
and wants to be the person that people rely on and then say that you don't think about legacy.
I'm gonna tell you why I don't think about it.
Okay, because I'm like, come on now.
Because I think the story should be what people say about it. I think when somebody's like, yeah, I want my legacy to be, or I want to be remembered for this, that, and the third, and then you do things just so they can be, just so people can say this about them. Me, I'm so like involved in everything, involved in real time.
Yeah.
That how people talk about me when I'm not around or when I'm gone. I can feel confident that they're gonna say nice stuff, just because I'm a nice person.
Right.
So like, I really don't think about this is how I want to be remembered. This is how I want my legacy. I really want to do as much good as I'm here.
And that there is your legacy.
And that maybe could answer that question in that way. But I don't think I just do. If I know there's an area that needs fixing, I just do.
Right.
I don't, and that's why, earlier you said about introvert or extrovert.
Yeah.
Like, I like being behind. Like, so many people still don't know that I'm the guy behind a lot of
all
stuff.
of those things. Right. Well, they do now, possibly.
Yeah, they know now. But this is my first interview ever.
Yeah.
Right. They've asked me to do a grand opening here, and they wanted me to speak, and I was like, I will if I have to. I can.
Okay.
But I never want to get to a spot where it's about being in front of the camera. It's about, oh, this is me. I'm the guy. Like, I literally would, and my fiance would tell you, like, I don't even leave with what I do.
Right.
I come in, hey, my name's Ivan. How you doing? Joe's my fiance. And then in conversation, maybe we might bring it up, but I stay true to the work, and I don't let how some people get like, oh, they got famous or they get away from it. I've never ever been that way.
Well, that's why you're going to continue to have the success you're having. I'm a firm believer of that. I'm a firm believer of that.
Yeah, probably, most likely, probably, definitely. You know what I mean?
Maybe.
It's just, I think that they're gonna, and I've thought about that, like going to funerals, right?
Right.
And you see people get up there, and I haven't been to that many, but I remember my earlier years. I'm like, man, look how they are talking about this guy,
right,
lady,
right.
And at that time, I was like 15. I'm like, damn, if I was a pastor right now, they ain't got too much good shit to say. Right? They might say I'm funny or something, but like, these people over here like saying some good.
Great
I'm like,
things. Yeah.
I need to be out here. I need to really do good stuff. It's not about just being funny and whatever the case may be. Do stuff that's meaningful. And that's I just learned these lessons very early on of how somebody speaks about you. I don't ever say like I'm the best, and probably the only thing was maybe me changing my name to Cloak King.
Okay.
Right? But people were saying that. So I was like, all right, Cloak King. But
I can't,
it's how people speak about you. And I always say it's better when somebody else says it.
Right.
When it's coming from you, you're expected to say good stuff about you.
Yeah.
But when other people are like, yeah, that lady's nice. That lady's, you can depend on her. She'll connect you with this person. This guy, when other people say it, it's the best referral.
Absolutely.
That's what the Google referrals are. You get on there, other people are saying what their experience is with you.
Absolutely.
With your company. So that's how I always move. I let the people say, and I know unless somebody is just malicious, I don't have any hate ever.
Yeah.
All my pages are very public. My relationships out, like and I think you get what you put out.
Fair.
I'm just like I'm in my absolute best life.
Okay.
I never really had too much of a effed up one, but I'm just really.
But you're enjoying the wave and the chapter you're in now.
I'm enjoying the chapter, but more importantly, I'm even more so enjoying it because my fiance's rocking with me, and it's even more fun.
That's
it's
so
like,
amazing.
It's just fun. It's like who else would I do? You know what I mean? Like my boy, my best friend works here too, and I was happy to even help him with that. Like he needed a job. I was like, yo, and for me to even be able to offer that, and I thought about that early on, if you can't offer anything,
Yeah.
what good are you? Right? Like,
That.
if you can't offer anything, if you can't really help anybody, and that's why I wanted to be my own business person,
Mm-hmm.
because there was a time where I needed a job back when I was like early, maybe 20 or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and my dad couldn't get me a job at the company because
That
he
he
didn't
worked
own it.
at. Okay.
He couldn't get me a job. Nobody in my family
Was
could
able
get
to.
me a job because they were employees themselves. They may have been high up. My dad he worked for Lockheed Martin, was very high up.
Yeah.
He like was very high up and still could not get me a job.
Absolutely. Right.
So I said, I don't like that. And then I look how all the other cultures do stuff. You go to something as small and very relative to everybody. You go to a pizza shop, the
Right.
family's in there. Go to Chinese space, the family's in there.
Right.
Right. And I'm like, I want to be the one person that somebody can come to me and say, hey, I need a job. I'm in a bind.
Right.
Something's happening. I need something. Come on.
Right.
I want to be resourceful in that way. Because I'm telling you, like, I was like, nobody, and I need a job like the next day. Nobody. I was like, Mom, my mom worked at an insurance company. I was like, hey, can you get me in there just sweeping up? I can't.
Right.
Nobody can pull the strings. And I was like, I don't like this.
You're like, this doesn't feel great.
It
This
doesn't feel good because shit does happen.
Amen. Yeah.
And family, like, shit does happen. And if I would have took the college route and the engineer route, we would still be in that boat.
Right.
Where everybody is fending for themselves. And I didn't like that at all.
No, that makes sense.
At all. And that's why I said, you got to be own. You got to own some shit. You got to be able to be a shot caller.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And make moves if you need to make moves.
If nothing else, all of that wrapped up is your legacy, sir. Like, you are just talking, and some of the things that are important to you just shows the trajectory of like where you've come because of the work that you've put in, but then also where you're headed, because the passion is there. The willingness to do the work, though, is also very prevalent and very present. You have a passion for people and like genuine care to the point that you want to be a resource to others. So like that, these are actual like personality attributes. That is what leads to true success, because this is something that's just coming from you. Like, this isn't just a learned. You learn the craft of DJing. You learn the craft of like photography. But the grind, that's internal. That's not something that can be taught. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm a firm believer of that, at least. Like, there's a certain level of go-getterness that it's either in you or it's not in you.
Yeah. It's like a singer. You either can sing or you can't. You
know what I mean? Like, you can take all of the singing lessons you can, and there may be an opportunity to be able to hold a note, but you can tell the ones that are, where it's just natural.
It's just natural. I just think I understand how life works.
Fair.
And who I am as a man and what I should be doing as a son, father.
There it is.
Husband, right? And it's like, if you're on the team, you ever see a team, you're like, this guy.
He said, this guy
messes the team up.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like, you don't want to be that guy.
Right.
Right? And I think also a leader also knows how to follow. Knowing where, if we're at a table with other leaders and it's like, okay, now I'm not the decision maker, I'm not the leader, I can follow the other person's lead.
Absolutely.
Like, you got to know how to do both, but like not be the guy that disrupts the class, disrupts the group, makes it all about themselves. And it's just like, it's tacky to me.
No,
right?
I get that.
So I get it. I get in where I fit in.
Right.
And wherever I need to fit in. And if I'm on the team, I'm putting 100% out because
100%.
I'm a part of it.
Right.
I'm a part of it. And if I'm on there, like, shit, we ain't going out like that. Even if we lose, we going to lose and stop.
Right. He's
you
like,
know what I'm saying?
It's going to be
it's going to be a good loss.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But we, like, if I come and because I know how I come, I watch what things I take on.
Fair.
Right?
Okay.
I watch what things I take on. Not all money is good money. Not all business is good business. And there is such a thing as bad publicity. You know how people say all publicity is good? No.
No, it's not. I'm a firm believer of that.
Social media is now. It's like, they don't care how they look, as long as somebody's looking.
Somebody's looking.
And that's not good.
I agree.
We are in a very temporary phase right now that is attracting a lot of people.
Right.
And they're falling subject to this stuff, not knowing that the storm is going to end at some point, and the
Ab-
sun going to come back out, and y'all done
did
all
these
this craziness
right,
for a short period of time
right,
for what you think is a lot of money. It was really a little bit of money,
absolutely,
and messes up your whole character and so on and so forth.
yeah.
So I'm here for a long time,
I
not
know
a
that's
short
right.
time.
I know that's right.
And
You going for the long haul.
I'm here for the long haul.
So, and in that, and you said it, like, what has been, and at this point, originally I was going to say for this, like, but just period, what has been the greatest lesson you've learned on the pitfall moments that you've experienced as you were building this beautiful space that you've got going on here, or maybe just all your businesses at this point?
Relationships matter.
Okay.
And we're here to work with each other.
Okay.
And people matter.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Relationships are just a thing. Like, just think about it. Relationships matter. If you think about, you go to a job, relationships is also connected to reputation.
Right.
Where you came from.
Yeah.
Right. You go to a job, you file the application. They want to see that they kind of want to see your work history to see where you've been at. But what they're looking at is how long have you been at these places?
Absolutely.
Can you hold relationships?
Right.
Somebody who has a new friend every 6 months, a new job every 2 years, a new man every whatever, or a new girl, whatever.
Man,
it says a lot about why can't you hold long-term relationships?
Right.
I'm curious. I want to know now. Why can't you?
Yeah.
Why can't you? Why are you moving here? Why can't you? How come I don't see long 10-year friendships?
Okay.
What's happening?
Absolutely.
What's happening? So and it says a lot about the individual. And then also says a lot about the person who has long history of relationships.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
They know how to deal with conflict, problem solve, communicate. It's so many skills in the person who can maintain healthy, long relationships.
That's amazing. So that has been your biggest, love that being your biggest lesson.
Absolutely.
What is your vision then for the future? Where do you see yourself and Collab Create going moving forward?
So Collab Create, I see, I'm happy with it now. What I would like to see moving forward is more of these type of places in different areas.
Okay.
Right. Again, if it's one cockroach, it's probably more.
Not Collab Create the franchise. Is that what I'm hearing? Is that what I'm hearing?
I mean, because I feel like with everything that we're doing, even you with the real estate, right?
Yeah.
You're like, oh, if I could sell one house, I'm pretty sure there's no one out there I could sell.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we have a friend who's a realtor. She has a house in Sarasota. She's like, might as well get my license down there too.
I love it. Yeah.
So, if it's a if people like my personality here, why wouldn't they like your personality in Jersey? Why wouldn't they like your personality on selling houses in Florida? You know what I mean?
Right. No, 100%.
To me, it's just common sense to me. So if people like this place, and which people do, and we're solving a problem, obviously most people that we serve are going to be in this area.
Right. Yeah.
Popping these up in other places. That's what I see for Collab Create. For Nite Look, like I said, we're getting ready to get our app developed.
Love it.
And I'm really, really excited about Nite Look because I see tremendous growth in that. And that might be the one that takes us way over the mountain.
Okay.
And hopefully to have this across the country.
Love
as
it.
an app.
Love it.
And have photographers all over the country working. Just everything. So Nite Look is something that I see tremendous growth in. We put a lot of time and energy in that. Club King Films, we're going to continue to grow as we've been.
Yeah.
We do almost everything outside of making movies.
I love it.
With the camera.
And who knows where it comes.
We're going to continue doing that, weddings, everything like that. And then the DJing.
You still out here.
I DJed last night.
Yeah.
I'm DJing Saturday. I still DJ.
Yeah.
Because, again, long-term relationships. That's
Absolutely.
my relationship with the turntables that brought me where I'm at.
Right.
Right? And I'm like, so when I go out now, I'm honoring that. I'm like saluting to the turntables like, yo, y'all got me here.
Right.
Y'all showed me when the first time somebody gave me money at that bar.
Right. Yeah.
I looked at it like this. I said, he didn't have to pay me that.
Mm-hmm.
He could have also said, I'm not going to use you.
Right.
I said he actually liked what I gave him.
Exactly.
And in return, he gave me the money.
Right.
And to me, I think it was only like $150 at the time. But I said it felt way better than my 2-week paycheck.
Absolutely.
Because they didn't have to, if you work at Walmart, you go there, you do your 40 hours, no matter what you're doing, they you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's transactional. There's a must, yeah.
They are deciding to shop with you.
Yeah, fair.
And the rest was history. When I got that, I said, he didn't have to get, I said, how much more this is out there? I'm pretty sure there's more roaches around.
There it is.
Some different roaches, but you know what I'm saying?
I love the fact, no, but I get it. Cause look, we all know what's out there. But that is, I mean, it speaks to your entire testament. It speaks to everything you've got going on. So, and from my understanding, from what I'm gathering of this, you're still going back to the DJing because that's what set it all off. It's more of an homage at this point to what's to come. But realistically, what you're creating now is far surpasses that any longer. And you're just now at a place of just like, I hope you've taken the time to just kind of like enjoy, look around, see what you've created.
Like stop and look up.
And
I think, and this is where my fiance comes into play.
Okay. Because I was like, you need that.
Because when we go home at night and we're like laying in bed and we're just like, it's like it's peaceful moment. And we sit back and we just be like, yo, this shit's crazy.
Right.
Like even today, we're like, this shit's crazy. We're really, it's crazy. And when we do sit back and we go out to dinner and we're like, yo, we kind of just did that.
Yeah.
And we see where we started. Like it's crazy. But like I said, I enjoy working alongside with her. So when we sit back, when I look at her and I see her smiling and she looks at me, or we're going to dinner, or we're doing stuff with the family, it's because of what we're doing now.
Right.
That makes that stuff even more enjoyable. And, she doesn't work. She, left her job and came on here full time, and it's just it's very nice. It's very nice. And I don't believe in luck.
Right. There is no luck in any of this story either.
I don't believe in luck. And if somebody does, I wouldn't bet on it because luck runs out.
Amen.
I think being prepared when the opportunity comes. And being prepared means you got to be working on something. Even though it's not happening at that moment.
Right.
You have to be working on it. So when they do knock at the door, you can open it.
You're ready to go.
And you're ready to go. And some may say that is what luck is. I think it's being prepared when the opportunity comes.
Okay.
And always working on yourself. Even relationship, I was ready to go with her. I knew before I met her, I said, my next relationship, that's going to be it.
That's going to be your way.
I knew how I was
You
coming.
were preparing already.
I was prepared to the T.
Absolutely.
Pre-assembled, ready to go. It ain't going to be me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And, so that's just how I look at stuff. So I encourage everybody who's going to see this and listen to this.
Yes.
Enjoy the process. The process is there for a reason. Look at what other people have done. And more importantly, look at how other people mess it up.
Go ahead with the key takeaways. I love it.
Oh, my bad.
Because it's coming. I love it.
My bad. But that's just
yes.
what I want to put out there is there's lessons and losses.
Yes.
It's only a loss if you walk home.
Right.
Get back, learn, hey, how did this go wrong? 9 times out of 10 might be you.
Mm-hmm.
Did I not prepare enough? Did I and look at yourself too. Like I always look at myself.
Right.
Like, before I even come to somebody, even like my people in here, I look at myself and say, did I communicate this right to them? Did I train them right? I look at what I could have did first before I bring that to them.
That's
I do it all the time. She can tell I do it all the time. Like,
that's very respectable. You're going to make trying to do my key takeaways real hard now, considering the fact that the guy over here just giving out key takeaways, guys. That's where we at. But no, you're not wrong. So I am going to try to take this entire conversation and give what my key takeaways are from it that are tangible takeaways that you literally can implement today based upon the conversation that Jones, I mean, if y'all didn't pick up the gems that have been dropped throughout the entire conversation, I don't know what you were watching or listening because the gems have been there, sir. Like, that is amazing. But my first is going to be, and this is something he said early on, and he's mentioned it several times, is that you have to believe in yourself and be willing to bet on yourself 10 out of 10 times. That's my first key takeaway. He was in a position, and he grew up in a different type of family. He grew up in a family that was college based. They had a different trajectory in life. Not a lot of people believed, but he believed in himself. And that is what set forth everything that we've talked about today. My second key takeaway is to take the time alone by yourself to perfect whatever craft, whatever idea, whatever it is that you want to bring out. Take the time personally to perfect it before you put it out. He explained practicing and doing mixes and learning how to DJ for an entire year before actually putting it out there. Now, in that same regard, with the disclaimer, have a select few of people that you trust to give you constructive criticism so that you can continue to do it during the time of that process that you take. My next key takeaway, I'm going to try to keep it to 4 like I always do, but again, there's a lot, guys. My third key takeaway is going to be, I'm trying to think how I want to say this one, because I'm trying my best to go in sequential order based off of the conversations that you've had. But I'm going to say this. Learn to enjoy the process. Learn to enjoy that journey from the start of something to the completion and or getting to whatever that next thing is. Because it's in the process that you're going to have the growth. You're going to have the lessons. It's in the process that you're also going to find the ability to solve whatever problems may be there that are going to actually attribute to whatever next ventures you have as he's done. So learn to enjoy that process. And then I'm going to have to give 5, guys, because I got 2 in my head right now. So then my fourth key takeaway is going to be to hold on to respect and learn to build relationship. It is in relationship that you find opportunities. When you come in and you show up being your authentic self and you create real relationships with people, and it's not a matter of what is this person going to give to me and vice versa, but you're in real relationship, you will be able to build something together. You are going to learn to collab create. You're going to learn to be in positions and in places where people know your reputation, they know your character, and because of that relationship, doors will continue to open. I mean, it's been in this entire conversation. And then my final takeaway, that 5th one that I was going to say is, and I have to wrap it up in a good way, but I'm like, I feel like I've hit every single part of our conversation here. But the last one is exactly what Jones just finished talking about. So it's the idea of always be looking at how to solve a problem. But with that, just because something may not go off right now, like learn your lessons that you need to learn. We'll say it that way. Learn the lessons that you need to learn. Don't let that be the deterrent on what stops you from going forward, and do your best to just look at self first, right? Learn the lessons that you need to learn and look at yourself. Be willing to look at yourself. That's how I want to say it. Because this gentleman has said that as the leader that he shows up, he understands to look at him first before he has conversations with other people. He has learned to follow when necessary when having conversations as the leader that he is. And he has also learned how to always start with him before he goes out to anyone, to ensure that when he speaks, he's speaking from a place of certainty, that when he leads from a place of already knowing, and that when he brings something to you, it's because he already did the necessary work for him first. So take that time to learn yourself, learn the necessary lessons, and start with you before you do anything with others. How does that feel for my takeaways when it comes to your conversation? Because, sir, that was a lot, but it was amazingly a lot.
I think you do an outstanding job, and you are a great listener.
Oh, thank you. I hope so in
And
this world.
But no, that's a very good skill, being a good listener. You do this very well. Like I said, when I saw the first podcast, I said, you just on my radar.
Aww.
I didn't know where you were shooting it at. I know you had 2 people that we knew, and my impression was you was doing it for years.
Oh, I appreciate that.
And then I was like, how you know about her? I was like, Paige, look at this.
Right.
I said, look at this, and I was like, it's you put the time in.
Yeah.
You could have set your cell phone up on a little thing and sat in the corner of your house and try to do some stuff. You put thought into it.
Absolutely.
Which is why I feel like I had the impression that I did when I first saw your stuff, and you only been doing it a year.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think I just can't wait to see like fast forward 10 years from now.
Yes.
Where everybody's going to be at.
Well, let me tell you, especially with this connection that we've got now, there is a lot to come. I got ideas too, and we're going to continue to collab create because this is it now. This is where we at. What we think?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, I don't know. I love it. I'm always smiling.
Yeah. No, it's a good thing. You happy. You in a good space.
Yeah,
You've earned this time, sir. You've earned it, Jones.
I appreciate you for having me on. I'm on the show. Look,
yeah.
I was looking at it and said, who this lady over here? This ain't looking good. And now I'm on the show.
Look at that.
Won't he do it?
Won't he do it?
You know?
Hello.
And just thank you, because you didn't
Absolutely.
have to ask me any. I think if somebody asks you questions about yourself, somebody, you know what I mean? Times people just walk past people every day.
Yeah.
Like the fact, I really appreciate this sit down of you sitting here and asking me questions, getting to know, taking the notes. You know what I mean? Like,
absolutely.
Because people will get walked past every day.
Not here.
And they don't, and people aren't feeling good about themselves. They're
I know.
Overlooked.
Yeah.
Not heard. You know what I mean? The fact that she sit here and ask me questions about myself, I appreciate it. You know
I'm glad. It was a great conversation, and I know that it's going to bring the next entrepreneurs, the next people up, because you've done some amazing stuff, sir, and you deserve to be celebrated. You deserve to be given your flowers here in real time. So sky's the limit for you, sir. Like, Jones, you got some good stuff happening, like, seriously, from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you.
I'm excited for what's to come. I'm excited to be a part of the journey.
Yeah.
Season 2 is kicked off now,
Yeah.
right? And as always, guys, sending light, sending love. Bye.